This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Jeff Rubin Show. I'm Jeff Rubin, and today I'm talking to Paul Vasquez, also known as Bear, also known as the Double Rainbow Guy. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Paul, I wanted to have you on this show because you live near or in and seem to have some degree of expertise about one of my favorite places on Earth, Yosemite National Park. Is that right?
Yeah, well, my farm is about 10 miles as the crow flies from the park border. It takes me about 50 minutes to drive into Yosemite Valley. It's about 40 miles to the park entrance. So I came to live and work in Yosemite in 1985, but I think I'll go to the beginning. I came to Yosemite when I was 12 years old with my parents and was amazed by it, of course. And then when I was 21 and had my own car and money and, time, I was like, I'm going to go to Yosemite, and came for a week and was like, I got to live here. I got to live here. And a year later, I got a good job and I got a good place to live. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is perfect. And then I was living in the park, and then I started looking around and started seeing, well, you just can't live here forever. You have to work here. So I was like, well, I don't want to leave. I projected myself 20 years into the future, and I was talking to someone. I said, you know what? I used to live and work in Yosemite, and I used to love it. And then right then I came back and I said, I don't want that to be my reality. I want to stay here. And so then I just started saying, what can I do to stay here? And then I met a Yosemite Indian woman, and I thought, that's how I could stay here. So I married into the Yosemite Indian tribe, and we have Yosemite Indian ceremonies, and that has anchored me here.
Wow.
It's been really incredible.
Lot to pull apart there, but the thing I want to go back to first is that first trip when you were 12 years old. Like, what do you remember about seeing the place when you were 12 that was so striking to you? Because a lot of 12-year-olds aren't really into nature, even the wondrous nature of Yosemite National Park.
Well, my father had primed me for it. We used to go camping all the time. I was born and raised in Southern California, and we would go camping all the time. So coming to Yosemite was not that big of a change. And when I came, it was just like, wow, this is amazing. And I remember riding my bike and feeling the altitude and thinking, wow, this is something different. And then I remember seeing bears and raccoons, and we were there in the wintertime and feeling the cold. And just seeing like the grandeur of the valley walls and how incredible it was, and just seeing how wild it was. It had a huge impact on me. And I have pictures. One of my Facebook pictures is me with my sister and my mom on Valley View, and I'm 12 years old, and that was it was key in my life. And another thing was, like, I was on a swim team when I was like 15, and the name of the park that I was in was called Yosemite Park. And I would go to that. I would walk down this street every day that was called Yosemite Street, and I would think about Yosemite. And it was like I had no clue that I was going to make my life there, but it would remind me every day that place was still there.
Some people that are listening to this have never been to Yosemite. I mean, some people that listen to this they don't even live in America. There's Americans listening to this who have never been there, even Californians listening to this who have never been there. But then there's also international people who've just never even considered going to Yosemite. So for those people, what is this is a very difficult question, but I'm excited to hear you answer it. What is Yosemite and what makes it so special?
Okay, so the idea of setting aside land for the future started when Abraham Lincoln took time out of the Civil War to protect Yosemite for the future. No one had thought of protecting land for the future until they came here. That's how special this place is. So it's a glaciated valley with the sheer 3,000-foot cliffs and waterfalls coming in on both sides. It's just a magical, amazing place. And I think that humans, if they want to travel the world, it's one of the first places they should see. It's just that special. It's just that incredible. And when you come here, you feel the power. You know, it's like you feel that there's some magic here. And it's not only beautiful, like, wow, look at the waterfalls, but it's like every single place you look, it's like, wow, look at that beautiful bouquet of flowers, or look at the faces in those rocks, or the trees. You know, there's faces in the trees. It's just a magical place.
Do you have a favorite like spot within Yosemite that's like a very special place to you within the park?
Well, here's the thing about Yosemite. It's like different seasons, different times of day, different weather. You can't really, anyone who really knows Yosemite answers it the same way. It goes by the season. It goes by the times. It goes by the time of day. It's always different. I have all kinds of magical places that I go depending on the conditions. I have a few special places. Sentinel Dome is one of my favorite places. I like to go there for the sunset and the full moon rise. I do that several times a year.
What is Sentinel Dome?
Sentinel Dome is this big granite dome that's just it's right by Glacier Point. A lot of people go to Glacier Point because it's got big parking and it's easy to get to, but Sentinel Dome's just a little harder to get to. But you can see Vernal, Nevada Falls, you can see Yosemite Falls, you can see Half Dome, and it's on a big dome. You know, it's on a peak. So sunset and the moonrise is very dramatic there. That's one of my favorite places to go, and it's relatively easy to get to. I mean, I can get to it, and that's if I can get to it, that's pretty easy. Another place that's really one of my favorite is like I like to swim, and like in the July and August, I like to swim under Yosemite Falls. There's all kinds of rainbows all around. That's another one of my favorite things. But
oh yeah, I've heard you like those.
Yeah, there's just like a million places to go. It just depends on the time of day, the time of year, what specifically you want to do. You know, so you can't say one place.
But no wrong answers when you're in Yosemite Park. So I'm just trying to imagine the place you live. Like, is that in a city? Like, what would I write on an envelope to mail you something? Like, is it a town?
So I live just outside the town of Mariposa. That's my mailing address. I live in the mountain home zone. It's between the town of Mariposa and Yosemite itself. I recently flew over. And you can see lights, you know, from like the big city, Fresno and Merced, and then you'll see the smaller lights from Oakhurst and then Mariposa. And then in the mountain home zone where I live, it's like 5-acre minimum. And so you'll see scattered lights all around. And when I flew over, I was like, yeah, I live there. Because it's just like, you can tell it's inhabited, but it's very sparsely inhabited. You know, it's like, it's 5-acre minimum, but then there's also a lot of raw land that's undeveloped around here. So, you know, there's not very many people in this area, but there is some.
I'm just trying to imagine the kind of the day-to-day of living in such an area. Like, how did you meet your wife? Like, how do you meet people like your wife or friends or whatever?
Well, I was working in the park. I was a security officer, a firefighter, and EMT, and she was a new hire. And she walked up to me and she's like, "Oh, are you the person that's supposed to help me?" And I said, "No, but I will." Because I was working, you know?
Sure.
And so then I started talking to her, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm a Yosemite Indian. I'm coming back to my homeland." And she's like, "I'm from Southern California." I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Southern California, and I've been living here 8 months." So it was like, you know, we're from the same neighborhood practically, and then I'm showing her homeland. It was just kind of like this thing that was meant to be, you know? It's like, I'm gonna show you where you're from.
I assume you must have over the years like learned some of their culture and traditions. Like, what have you taken from their culture?
Oh yeah, so immediately we started participating in the culture. They have an active, thriving, living culture with ceremonies that are intact that we practice year-round. We have the bear dance. There's a 60-mile walk that goes across the Sierras from Mono Lake to Yosemite Valley. We have sweat lodges. There's a bear dance.
Wait, what's a bear dance? You said that twice, so I got to know. What's a bear dance?
Yeah, the bear dance is really amazing. It's like this very spiritual thing where we use the roundhouse behind the visitor center. the Yosemite Indians come and we use that whole village like it was intended to be, and then we have a big meal, and then we go into the roundhouse late at night, and these guys who have spiritually prepared themselves go into the roundhouse in bear skins and they dance around. I mean, I'm simplifying it, of course, but they go into the roundhouse and they dance around in these bear skins with late at night with the fire. I mean, we get out of there at like 2 a.m. It's just like this really magical, powerful ceremony. And the Yosemite Indians are the Bear Clan, and the bear represents the healing animal of the spirit world. So you go in there and you get a lot of spiritual healing. It's really amazing thing. I've been doing it since 1986.
What do So what do you do like day to day? You said you live on a farm. So is that where your groceries come from?
Well, some of them. I have like 40 fruit trees and vegetable gardens and chickens for eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't grow anything to sell. I just grow food to eat, and then I have volunteers that come here from all over the world, and so we grow food just to eat here on the farm, and it's just like a self-sustaining area. I'm not trying to grow a crop to sell to the public. That's not how I make my money. So I'm just trying to like live like a self-sustaining area. When I went viral, I had been feeling like this was an arc. It's like I got my own well. I'm growing my own food. If the way we get food stops, I can still go pretty good. It's like because I'm growing some of my own food, and I started feeling like I was Noah. Like this land is my ark. And when I said that on the email the first time, my house fills with color, and then this rainbow comes and it makes me famous.
Let's talk about that day briefly, because so for those that are maybe still having trouble imagining it, one, just do a Google image search for Yosemite National Park, just to get a sense of what we're talking about. But two, I believe, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, the double rainbow video actually shot from your home. Like in that video, we're seeing what you see from your window. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm sitting in the couch. I'm sitting in the same couch where the video started, and I'm looking at the mountain that's in the double rainbow video right now. I have a mobile home, and it has a big sliding glass door, and I'm looking at that mountain right now. I look at it all the time, every day, all day.
That's so crazy. I think so. Everyone's seen the video. Everyone knows what we're talking about. But I never imagined that you were sitting on a couch when you recorded that video, because it's so outdoorsy to me. It's when I pictured the person holding the camera, I picture you being outside, but you're on a couch when you shot that video.
No. That's when the video starts. Mm-hmm. The video starts. I'm actually the rainbow starts when I'm on my couch. When the video starts, I'm actually on my front door, and then I start walking.
Right.
And there's a tree in the beginning. When I get to the end of the tree and you can see the whole thing, it feels like a giant hand pushes me to the ground, and I'm sitting on my ass filming. Once I see the whole thing, I'm sitting on my ass for the rest of that video. Just on the ground.
Because you're just floored by the beauty.
Exactly.
So is that something you did a lot of? Did you see animals and other nature phenomenon, cool trees and waterfalls, and get excited about it and record them and post? That was something you were regularly doing?
I had 200 videos when I went viral.
Oh, wow. So that's your... Yes. So you had been doing this before someone noticed this one.
Yeah, and then I had a video called Giant Intense Rainbow that was shot almost exactly a year before. Well, it's very similar to the giant double rainbow, where my reaction was very excited, except I was high on that video, but it's not as good.
But you're not high in the double rainbow video, is that what you're saying?
Right, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I was high on Giant Intense Rainbow, which is a year before, but I was not high on double rainbow.
Is that one of the crops you're growing at the farm? Which is legal in California, just to quickly note.
Yeah, I talked with CNN about this, and I'm growing a crop that is... helpful for epilepsy. It's a high CBD crop. Yeah, I've just been instructed to do this, and a lot of people don't realize that when the double rainbow video starts, there's a thing that looks like a tent. That's not my tent. That's a greenhouse. That's a greenhouse filled with my strain that I've been working on since 2004.
Is the strain called Double Rainbow or something like that?
Yeah, of course.
It's got it. That's just branding 101. I guess it's got
right.
Be. When you shot that video, did you know? I mean, you can kind of tell from your voice, I guess, but did you know it was it was going to be something special? Obviously you're very excited in the video, but were you I got something here?
No, yeah, I just was something powerful is going on here. So, I just wrote this email saying how I feel like no, and I walk outside and it looks like there's a giant eyeball in my front yard. And I'm like, what could have an eyeball all the way across the sky? I'm like, that's God. That's why I keep saying, oh my God, oh my God. I just felt like I'm like Noah, and Noah was a prophet of God who saw a rainbow, and a rainbow comes in my front yard and makes me famous. That's fucking crazy shit, man.
Right. I forgot about the biblical connection there.
Right?
So were you surprised when you started to see it going viral? And it's not just like a million views. It's like 20 or 30 million.
Okay,
views
so I shot it in January 8th, 2010, and I immediately knew this is a viral video. I immediately uploaded. I didn't wait a second. As soon as I saw it, I was like, holy shit, I'm going to put this on YouTube right now. And I put it on YouTube, and then I put it on Facebook, and I sent it to all my friends, and I said, this is going to be a viral video. Send it to everyone you know. So that was July.
Think that? Why did you think? Because that's a crazy call to make in a way, and you were right.
Because I knew this was coming before it happened. I felt this was my role. I knew that I was supposed to give humanity a message. I knew all this was coming. I just didn't know how. But when I saw the video, I was like, this is it. So I sent it to everyone and said, this is going to be a viral video, and then nothing happened. And then July, it was 7 months later, Jimmy Kimmel tweets it, and then it's like an explosion, man. I'm the most Googled person on the planet, July 2010. I'm flying all over the world. It was insane. I went from being this poor dirt farmer eking out a living, starving artist to being flown all over the world, and I'm not changing, I dress in Walmart clothes, I don't care. And it's really been it's been like I've been on a magic carpet ride, it's been,
what was
really incredible.
The craziest thing that came out of all of the madness? I know you've been in commercials and there's talk shows, and just I imagine all sorts of just weird requests have come in. Is there one that stands out in your mind?
Oh, there's a few, but one of the craziest one is this high school in Iceland raised money to bring me out there. They toured me all over the country, and then they gave me this festival where they sang and danced, and they made a play acting as me, and the parents came out, and they made me protector, the student body, and then after the performance, all the kids came out, and they all surrounded me and hugged me and kissed me like I was fucking God. Man, it was crazy.
Well, that was insane. They got a lot of rainbows in Iceland. I've been to Iceland.
Yeah.
And, they got a lot of nature and they got a lot of rainbows there. What do you what's going through your head? When you get that request and you see all these, what's going through your head when the kids are all treating you
so
like a
much.
god?
It's so much has come. I'm just here's the thing. I'm a servant. None of this is about me. I'm not even in the video. I'm just here doing what God is telling me to do. So I don't say no. I just say, okay, I'm supposed to do this. So
is that why you're on this podcast right now?
Yeah, I don't say no. If someone asks something for me, being a servant, if I am capable of doing it, I say yes. And it's all about scheduling.
We're talking about being a servant. So when you were saying that you had a message to deliver and you were going to deliver a message via this video, what do you is the message of the video?
Okay.
There's a feeling of positivity.
So I had to figure this out with the first interview request that came out. It just came to me immediately, and here's the bullet points. Love your fellow man, walk gently on Mother Earth, connect to Spirit. That's the message. That's the bullet points of the message that I'm supposed to give.
And that's not just in the video, but you're saying just in life.
Yeah, that's why I went viral. I'm supposed to give that message to humanity, and from that, there's a lot of things that come, But of course, if you want to break that down and get into it, there's a lot there.
Well, why don't you hit me with those 3 bullet points one more time, because this sounds important.
Love your fellow man. The first word is love. The most important thing is love. Love your fellow man. Walk gently on Mother Earth. And connect to Spirit. How
do you see those things in the video and in your message? How do you try to convey those things?
Well, it's I'm a vessel of love. It's I open my soul. That's why the video has connected to so many people. I'm a vessel of love, and I'm sharing my love with humanity. And I never put any ads on that video, because you can't share your love and charge for it,
Right.
walk gently on Mother Earth. That's how I live. I grow a lot of my own food. I live in a sustainable way or close to it. No one can live, no man's an island, but I do my best and I try. And then connect to spirit. I'm continually connected to spirit. I understand that I am a spirit having a body experience, So when you understand that we are all spirits, then my whole experience is that I am connected to spirit, to spirit. We're all spirits.
There's been probably countless, I'm sure you haven't even seen them all, reactions and remixes, but the one, like the defining remix of your video is obviously the Gregory Brothers, who did a Songify This, I guess it was, of your song. The Gregory Brothers, previous Jeff Rubin Show guests, we've had them on the show. They are just the most wonderful people. What was your reaction when you saw that? Did you feel like that video was going to help you get your message out?
There was so much going on. Like, they sent me that 2 days after I went viral, and I'm like, whoa, that's a trip. It's like, look at how cool that is, And then it's like, it was just part of, like, all this whole whirlwind of stuff that was happening, and it was just, like, incredible. But, some of the most powerful stuff that has come from that is the first time that they sung that in public was at the first YouTube conference. And someone recorded that. And I saw that. It's like someone sent that to me, and I'm like, hey, they're singing my words. It's like, it seems like I should be there, So I contacted them. They're like, you're right, you should be there. So they had me come out the next year, and they sang the song. They closed the concert with that song, and then they bring me out. They teach everyone the words, and then they get them singing, and they bring me out, and everyone's singing, and they walk me out there, and everyone's singing to me. It's like, that's happened many times. It's so mind-blowing to have tens of thousands of people sing your words to you, not from a song that you sing or wrote.
Right. But do you feel like the song captured your emotions that day, that the song does a good job of just kind of conveying what you were feeling and I think maybe amplifying your message?
It's just one of a lot of things, it does, but, there's just endless amounts of things that do that, it does, but there's so many, and there's so many things that just keep lifting it up and carrying it along, and it's been so mind-blowing for me because I'm just watching this stuff happen and continually amazed that it just keeps going. It just keeps going. It's 6 years later, and stuff is still happening.
Yeah, you're on the show right now.
And I'm constantly having to check my email to see like what offers are coming in, how they want me to use it, and it's 6 years later, and it's every week. There's requests every week.
I suspect it'll probably go on, with some maybe diminishing frequency, but it'll probably never go away for your entire life. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah. I figured it would go away, but then it's like, okay, this thing, okay, all right, with a 10-year, okay, I get it, the 10-year, but it's still going,
I imagine that you see, living in Yosemite, one of the most beautiful places on earth, you must see things like that all the time. Is there something like that you saw once and you just didn't have your camera and you couldn't believe you didn't have your camera? Or do you always have your camera now?
I always have my camera, but I don't have a good camera to catch stuff at night. So yeah, I see all kinds of shit at nighttime that I can't capture.
Like what's something you've seen at night that you wish you could have captured?
Yeah, tons of stuff.
Stars are basically
stuff in the moon, shooting stars, lightning, all kinds of stuff like that. But the most beautiful thing to me is a woman. And I can't show that stuff.
That's another website altogether.
Yeah, right. All of this other nature stuff, yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but none of that moves me nearly as much as a woman.
It's difficult to quantify beauty and rank these things and compare.
I've been thinking about this so much.
Was Double Rainbow Day, is that was that, I guess you can tell from your voice, but was that a special thing? I don't know. Was that just a regular day in the park for you? Or was that really something amazing?
Well, I was in my front yard. There was nothing going on. The 2 volunteers had left the day before, so I was home alone, which was kind of a rare thing for me. And I'm just sitting here that day contemplating life. I'm alone, and writing an email to this friend, and I'm just saying, what my life is like, and I'm saying how I feel like I'm Noah because of my farm. And then this thing blows up. It's just like, and you know what? That rainbow, it stayed for an hour. It was just there in my front yard, and then it came back the next day. And then 2 days later, it came back again.
It was like, did you get the shot yet? You need another one?
I know. The next day, I thought, I should go film it, but it was like, it looks exactly the same as it did yesterday. So I just sat out there.
Have you ever
I just sat in my front yard and enjoyed it.
There's such a thing as a triple rainbow, right? Have you ever seen a triple rainbow?
Yeah, I have a video. I have a video of a triple rainbow, and I also have a video of a double complete circle rainbow.
Oh,
and then I got some moonbow rainbows too.
I mean, but what makes the double rainbow video then so special? Was it just that it was so
here's
clear?
The difference. When I shot the double rainbow, no one watched my videos. It was like, I'm only doing this for myself. There's no consciousness of anyone else being there with me. That's the difference, and that's gone because I'm an icon now, and someone is going to watch my videos. And when I shot the double rainbow, that wasn't true. You know what I mean? I had no when I was doing YouTube before, I didn't think of it like that. I thought of it as like, this is my hard drive. I wasn't conscious of like,
other people.
Oh, people are going to watch this, or I'm doing it so that people can watch it. I was like, this is my own thing, and people might watch it, but that wasn't in my reality. That wasn't my consciousness. That wasn't why I was doing it.
Have you been to other? I mean, you must at some point have been to other national parks, right?
Yeah, I've been to all kinds of places, all over the world.
Is there something about like Yosemite that makes it like stand out even amongst like all the national parks are nice, and I'm sure around the world they are too. Like, is there something about Yosemite that makes it like special even amongst these other parks?
Oh yeah, Yosemite is like the center of the universe. It's just powerful there. Here's something I don't say very much. I call it the vagina of the mother. It's just the most beautiful place in the world. It's just, there's just this energy there that is unique. I've been to a lot of places, but there's just something there that just makes you feel good, and it's beautiful everywhere you look. It's just magical there, and magical things happen, and when you go there, you feel good. I've been to Grand Canyon and everything, and it's pretty and all that, but you don't want to lie down in it. You don't want to fall asleep in it. It's like you can look in this big hole, but it's like there's snakes and lizards and
you got
cactus.
Snakes in Yosemite.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't feel good. Yosemite's all green, and there's water everywhere. It just feels good to be there. It doesn't feel good like that most other places.
What are your other favorite places to visit, though, when you do leave Yosemite?
I like the east side a lot, like Mammoth, and like I'm going to Benton Hot Springs on Saturday. I'm taking a friend, and I like a lot of hot springs. I do that. I go to the hot tubs. I like the California coast a lot. I like Point Lobos. That's one of my favorite places. Point Lobos State Reserve. Lake Tahoe's cool. Pismo's cool. And then, once in a while I like to go to the cities, San Francisco and LA.
What's it like going to the city? Because you live in the opposite, like really in the opposite of a city, right?
Yeah. I was born and raised in the city. I lived in LA till I was 22.
Oh, yeah.
So I know it. I just don't like it. Sometimes it's necessary to visit, and sometimes it's fun, but it's not my thing. I will go and visit. I will go get stuff done. But it's just a short visit, and I'm always glad when I leave, because the energy in the cities, like, most people don't realize, like, you're being bombarded by this energy, noise, and if there's noise, there's also all kinds of other energy, too, that you just don't understand. And when you live like I do, you don't have to have this shield in front of you, so I'm used to not having to have this shield, and when I go to this city, it's like, bam, all this energy's hitting me. Yeah, so it's uncomfortable, but I will do it from time to time.
So, like, getting back to kind of day to day, like, what do you actually like? I don't know. What are you doing today after this interview?
There's a lot of watering to do here. I got to right now. It's the middle of summer, so I got to go out and make sure all my fruit trees are watered and all the plants are watered and the animals are taken care of. That, and I have helpers, and then like I have this guy from South Africa who's volunteering here right now. And he's in Yosemite right now, so I got to go pick him up from town. And It's like maybe 3 or 4 days a week I got to go into town and get food and supplies and do an appointment, and then we swim almost every day. So we either go to the river or sometimes I go to the swimming in the town pool. So and it's like mostly of their day is like involved with water because we're watering the plants, we're swimming in the water, and then I have this hot tub. Or it's not a hot tub; it's just a tub that I fill with water every day, and I swim in it. And then at the end of the day, I release it, and then it waters the garden.
Right.
So yeah, so we're dealing a lot with water. We're picking fruit, we're picking vegetables, we're harvesting the eggs just to eat here. You know, we're not trying to sell anything. Nothing gets sold here. Everything gets eaten here or given away if there's any extra, but there rarely ever is any.
So it sounds like a lot of work. Farming sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't do much of the physical labor anymore. I used to, but now the volunteers do it all. You know, the volunteers is like, that's a big part of my life. You know, they come from all over the world, and I put them up in the summertime. I put them in tents, and then we're working on this eco village, and a lot of them are staying in there.
So these are volunteers who want to spend time in Yosemite, learn about farming, maybe meet the double rainbow guy, and they volunteer to come and
yeah. Well,
do they know you as the double rainbow guy? Like, are they like, I'm volunteering?
So how it starts is they want to volunteer first. They want to go see what it's like to live on a farm, and then they're like, well, where can we do that? Oh, there's a farm in Yosemite. Let's go check that out. And so then they contact me, and then usually somewhere along the way they find out that I'm the double rainbow guy. But a lot of them have no clue what that even is.
Really?
You know, most of it's never been connected. Yeah, I've had hundreds, if not 1,000 volunteers here, and I think only 1 or 2 have ever come here because I was the double rainbow guy.
If you could, I don't know, retire or hire a farmhand or something to take care of really everything, is there like something you wish you had more time to do at Yosemite that you don't get to do because, you know, work and life and stuff?
No, I'm already doing that, dude.
This is it. This is
every
the
day is
plan?
Saturday for me.
Yeah,
I'm already doing everything I want to do. It's really mind blowing. Yeah,
what
I do have all that.
Who gets to say that? That's amazing.
Yeah, everything that I can think of, it's already happening, and it's been like that for years. I can go and do and spend anything. I can just like do whatever I want. I'm already doing it.
I gotta tell you, I'm a city guy. I'm a city slicker. So I can hear other city slickers listening to this, and we have very practical, earthly concerns. What did you do before you were a viral video star? You were farming and sustaining yourself. What do you do for money out there?
So I paid the land off. I bought this land in 1988 when I was 25 years old, and I paid it off while I was still in my 30s. So pretty much I live without money. Like a big, it's like before I went viral for 6 years, I lived on $6,000 a year or less. I mean, that tells you how much money I need. Very little, because the place is paid off. I don't have no mortgage. I don't have no car payments. I don't have my property taxes are $450 a year. I mean, I don't hardly need money. And you know what's really bizarre? Everywhere I go, people give me money, give me shit for free. It's like, oh, you're my guest. You're my guest. You know what? Here's one thing I want you to check out, dude. When you go to my YouTube channel and check out my playlist, go look at the volunteer playlist, dude. If you want to have your mind blown, go look at the volunteers that come to my farm. That you're going to be like, how does this guy do it? Especially when it's not connected to me being famous.
What will I see when I look at the volunteer playlist?
You're going to see beautiful women from all over the world saying they love me. It's so mind blowing, dude.
It sounds
I mean, they come from all over the world, and they cook, and they clean, and they serve me, and they go places with me, and they have fun with me, and they all say, come and have fun with Bear.
And they're having a great time, and what do they get out of it?
They get to hang out with me.
I mean, are these people who like then want to go and work on their own farms, or
some of them just want to get away from the city. Some of them just want to learn, what it's like. Some of them just want to escape like their 9-to-5 job. Some are planning on having their own farm someday. Some are looking for an intentional community like I got to be a part of. It's all different and everything.
But they can find that there. They can really get a valuable experience out of that.
Oh, totally. Yeah, they come through Workaway, HelpX, Wolf, and sometimes they just come through the universe. Friends of friends, or they find me on Facebook. Very, very few of them come from my YouTube videos.
One thing that's interesting to me is that you are so connected to the internet. I mean, even before you were a viral video star, you had to be uploading videos to YouTube. And I reached out to you on Facebook, and you got back to me. When I go to Yosemite, when I go to nature, I'm like leaving the city, and I intentionally like don't check social media and like try to disconnect. Is that difficult to balance, like the internet and nature and all these things in your life?
No, to me, the internet is just like thinking. You know what I mean? It's like that's how I think, and it's like a part of it. It's like a third of my brain. I keep a third of my brain on my iPhone. And
absolutely.
It's like,
oh my God! If I lost my iPhone, I'm not sure I could find my way home.
Right. So I don't think of like, oh, I need to disconnect from the internet. No, I don't, because you know what? I live in nature, and it's fine to be on the internet at the same time, because for me, it's all balanced out, because I don't live in the city. I don't hear cars. Right. I don't hear sirens. I don't hear helicopters. I hear the wind. I hear wind chimes. I hear my chickens. I hear dogs, I
wonder who else is, I hear what you're saying. Like, I need to disconnect. You are already disconnected. You almost need to connect.
Right. And, it's nice. I have satellite TV. I have internet. I have electricity.
What do you watch on TV? Like, just out of curiosity, like what do you watch it on satellite TV?
I pretty much don't watch TV. All I do is just like film myself, and then I edit. It's like, instead of watching TV, I make TV. I upload, or I publish at least one video a day, and sometimes two. Like, what I do is I film my life, and then when I got time, I go and I edit them, and then I'll upload once or twice a week overnight, and then I'll schedule them to publish once a day. And then if something really cool happens, I'll publish it immediately. And then I also publish videos 10 years from the day I shot them.
Oh, that's
so
fun.
Like if something cool comes, but it's a little racy, or I don't want to talk about this girl right now, I'll publish it 10 years into the future. Dude, you're gonna be mind blown when you see all the fucking women that come and just like their love on me. It's so good. And here's the thing: it's because I don't want anything from them. I only accept and appreciate what comes, and I don't resent what does not. So when you can have a woman come to you and you're not like wanting on her, man, it just like it makes them happy, and it makes them open themselves up to you. You know what I mean? And when they can feel like, oh, he doesn't want my body, man, it makes them feel really comfortable, and it brings more.
What else about your life at Yosemite might surprise people?
Just like how much time and freedom I have. I think, it's like I get to do whatever I want. I get to sleep in whenever I want. I don't live by an alarm clock. It's just, my life is very free and relaxed and easy, and I don't live like how most people do, where they got to try and earn a living. It's like none of that applies to me. I just like to have fun, and I film it, and even that's not connected to earning money. I just do whatever I want, and money comes freely.
I do whatever I want, and money comes freely. Sounds like you got a pretty decent setup over there.
It comes in the mailbox.
Is there? It's so. I mean, you live at like just this incredible vacation destination. Is there somewhere you've always wanted to go that you haven't been to yet?
Oh yeah, there's a couple places. The last state that I haven't been to is Alaska. I have never seen the Northern Lights, and then the only other park that I want to go to is Yellowstone.
My daughter worked in Yellowstone.
Huh?
That blows my mind that you've never been to Yellowstone, because I think Yosemite and Yellowstone are kind of the number 1 and 2 largest, most popular national parks.
My daughter worked in Yellowstone in 2010. She was working there when I went viral. But it's on my bucket list. And then I think I want to go to Thailand and live for like a winter or something. I mean, my new passion is spearfishing, and I just want to do that that's all I want to do now. I just really like spearfishing. I went and visited my daughter. She was living on Kauai last winter, and I went spearfishing, and it's just the only thing I want to do from now on. I mean, it's just this magical thing. It gives you this rush, and then you get to eat what you catch, and it's just like, it's just this wonderful, magical thing, and it's like the only thing I want to do for now. And it's good for me, because I'm really big and heavy, and it's hard for me to walk. But in the water, I'm weightless, so it's like really, freeing, it frees my body. So that's all I want to do nowadays.
Do you have do you have to hurl the spear, or is there some sort of like launching mechanism?
Yeah, you can buy like it's just like a pole, and it has like a rubber band on it.
Right.
And you just like stretch the rubber band, and then when you see the fish, you just release it, and then it goes maybe 3 feet. So you got to get pretty close to them. It's not easy. Do
you ever hunt? I don't think you can hunt in the park.
No,
I imagine,
it's like there's a lot of game out here, but I don't really need it yet. I call it all long-term food storage in case I ever do need it. I want it to still be around here. Right now food is plentiful and cheap in the markets, but if that ever changes, I want to know that the game's still around here, so I don't hunt.
Right.
Not yet. But I have the ability to hunt. I'm ready.
You're ready to go. What would you hunt? What would you hunt out there? Deer?
Oh, there's all kinds of deer and turkey around here. That's probably what I would get. They would be easy pickings. I could go get one today if I needed to.
So I want to bring this home, and the real reason I want to have you on the show is I want to convince anyone who isn't listening to visit Yosemite National Park. It kills me that people don't go visit our wonderful the national park system. I'm just so into it. I really enjoy visiting them. And it kills me that other people don't go. What can we tell people to convince them to visit maybe any national park, but specifically Yosemite?
Well, the national parks, they really a good deal. It's just it's such a cheap entertainment. It's such a cheap place to go see and do. But here's the thing about Yosemite: don't go there without a plan. Don't go there without knowing where you're going to stay. If you're just asking for trouble if you do that, have a plan and know ahead of time what you're going to do.
What are some options? Like what are some things some people might want to do there? Hiking.
There's in the summertime there's swimming, in the wintertime there's like ice. Well, they used to have ice skating. There's it's mostly just hiking in the wintertime, but it's nice. They have all I would just Google Yosemite activities. That's the thing that most people don't understand. You can just get on Google and just start putting in phrases, and you can learn so much from just doing that about what there is to do there. It's all there. When people ask me, because you live there, I'll just say, let me Google that for you, and I'll just send them a link to what I find.
Right. Like
it's all there.
You just check there. Is there anything that you like someone who's a first-time Yosemite visitor, maybe it's their first time like taking a trip into nature, like what would you recommend they see? And it's so big, like it isn't like I can't imagine there's like a thing you must do. Like we said before, there's no wrong answers. But are there any things that you would recommend for people who are just kind of dipping their toe into enjoying Mother Nature?
The first thing that you should do when you go to Yosemite is go to the visitor center. They're really good at helping you understand and navigate the park. They will talk to you, and they'll say like, what are you interested in? What are your physical limitations? What kind of gear do you got? And they'll tailor an experience to you. You know what I mean? That's really the place where you start, is just go to the visitor center, and then from there you'll understand what you can do. Yeah, they really do a good job there.
When I visit these places, the thing that I really like to do is go hiking. Do you have any hikes in Yosemite that you would recommend?
You should do the Mist Trail. The thing with the Mist Trail is you can just do your level, like how good of a hiker you are, and the more that you hike, the more reward you get. But if you're only a low level, you can still get some reward. So that's the thing that's cool about the Mist Trail. It gives you reward for every level you're at.
And the Mist Trail is a pretty unique trail. Like it's a very unique hike. Can you describe it briefly?
It goes up 2 waterfalls, and you climb right under this waterfall. And if you go in summer, it's just full of rainbows, and it's the most popular, but for a reason.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then if you get to a certain part, it's like these giant steps made out of granite. It's just a really amazing trail. In 1994, I had a job where I had to clean the 4 bathrooms that go up to Little Yosemite Valley, so I would have to climb up there 4 times a week. that was a great job.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that in the summertime that you shouldn't miss is Glacier Point. If you have just 2 days, Glacier Point is a do not miss. If you can drive up there, that's great. If you can get a ride up there and walk down, that'll give you, this is like, for people that have limited time, get up there and walk down. And then that gives you an idea of how big the canyon walls are. When you walk down from the top, you understand the enormous size that these canyon walls are. That gives you a good idea.
Well, Bear, I got to tell you, it really sounds like you figured something out, and you've got something going on over there. I guess the thing I'm really wondering now, that hearing all about it and picturing it, it sounds like you had it figured out even before the viral video fame. And I'm just wondering, like, the viral video fame seems to have had impact on your life, right? It seems to, can we say it changed your life?
No, the viral video is just like a side effect of this amazing life that I've already been experiencing. It hasn't really changed my life very much. I mean, I do a lot more interviews, and I'm just really unusual looking guy. And so all my life people have stared at me, but now they know why.
Well, I think you hit on it earlier, actually, when you said that. You're just being true. And I think that's what really reads in that video is your authenticity. There's no mistaking that you are that excited. And I think that's being excited about nature is a place a lot of people imagine getting to and maybe never even get to. And just touching that even briefly through the internet, it seems to have really affected a lot of people. What do you think when you see the video now? Do you ever go back and watch it?
When I have people here, I do. The whole thing stems from me having 100% confidence and zero fear. It's like I'm an authentic person because I have no fear. I've never had any fear in my life. I don't experience that emotion. I deal with things that normal people would be fearful of in situations. It's just how I'm dealing with things. I don't experience fear. So when you have that, it allows you to be an authentic person. Have you ever been afraid of anything? Have you ever encountered a situation in Yosemite where you just you're hiking and you see a mama bear or something? No. It doesn't affect me that way. It's just okay, this is what I need to do. I even fought a giant in a cage. My YouTube, my cage match has a third of a million views on YouTube. I fought the guy was 6'8", 425 pounds, and I was thinking, you know what? If I should be afraid, it should be now. But you know what? I'm not. Well, there's two different types. I think we're talking, and I think we're talking, there's two different types of fear, right? There's fear of a bear or fear of fighting a giant man in a cage. Then there's also just fear of being yourself and being authentic and thinking people will make fun of you if you reveal too much of yourself or something. And that I think is actually much harder to get around. And that's where it seems you're really fearless, especially in these videos, Yeah. I don't have any what's that? I don't think about myself. You know what I mean? I'm just what I am, and I don't care what people think. Do you think that is potentially because of where you live, and you live on this farm? That's a big part of it. That's a big part of it, and it's also a side effect of being a big guy and being a martial artist and always having that confidence. I've always had that my whole life. I grew up in the inner city, and I had to fight to survive. So it was I always knew that I could handle myself in any situation. So when you have that, then I don't care what people think because I'm okay. I'm right here. Well, Bear, I want to again congratulate you on not only the success of this video and everything, but also on having what might be the most unbelievable life of anyone I've ever spoken to, which is really saying something on this podcast. Yeah, my pleasure. That is it for the triumphant return of the Jeff Rubin Show. I hope you guys enjoyed those 3 weeks of Mental Floss podcasts. I did. If you missed them, go back and check them out. I think you might like them. But now we are back. It's Jeff Rubin Show. From here on out, I will be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and you'll be the first to know about it if you follow me on Jeff Rubin Show, at Jeff Rubin Show, on Twitter, I should say. I've never done this before. I'm a little rusty. It's been a few weeks. At Jeff Rubin Show on Twitter. I'm on Tumblr. I'm on Facebook. I am on Instagram, and I actually just received my first question about the podcast
via Instagram. So you can add that to the list of places where if you ask me a question or have a suggestion about the podcast, I will get back to you. Of course, I also have my email address, which you can find at jeffrubenshow.com, along with every episode of this show. Thank you so much for listening. Good to be back in full-blooded Jeff Rubin mode, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.